Back to Professor Morandi. He's a straight shooter. He's an honest man. He loves his family. He loves life, and he respects all nations' sovereignty.
Just like in the situation with Ukraine, the United States pretends that it is the middleman between Ukraine and Russia, whereas the United States was behind Ukraine, regardless of what Trump's policies are today. So the problem between Iran and the United States, I think more than anything else, Nima, has to do with mentality. This U.S. mentality of exceptionalism, of superiority, of looking down at others. And the second is that the United States is not reliable. Trump is not reliable. Let's just go to the Hamas and Israeli agreement. Witkoff was behind it. How can Witkoff, who himself is behind the agreement, basically change the agreement? And Trump, of course, reject the agreement altogether when he says all the Palestinians must go. How can he do that and then expect Iran to trust the United States at the negotiating table? Because in order for negotiations to happen, there has to be trust. There has to be a degree of trust. If you have zero trust in me to sell a house, to sell a car, to buy a house, to buy a car, something like that, a business, you can't sign an agreement with me because you know that I'm looking for a way to cheat you. I will try to undermine you. You have to have a minimal amount of trust in me in order to trust, and you have to verify it, and you have to make sure that everything is done carefully so that I don't cheat, but you have to have a minimal amount of trust. The problem is that the United States is completely untrustworthy. Even the Canadians cannot trust it under Trump. Even Greenland cannot trust it, Trump. Panama, I'm sure, has a few things to say about Trump as well. So under these circumstances, how could negotiations be possible when Witkoff himself, after just a few weeks, is undermining his own agreement when it comes to Gaza? Well, Iran is looking. Iran is watching Witkoff. Iran is watching the United States, and it sees that an agreement that was put together with Witkoff behind it has been unraveled, and Witkoff is taking sides with the Israeli regime that has been violating the deal and which is carrying out genocide. And he speaks about Netanyahu's successes in murdering Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah. So he speaks as an Israeli. He's speaking as if he is on the Israeli side, which he is, of course. He may have disagreements with Netanyahu on certain issues, but he's not a broker. He's not a middleman, and he's not someone who has so far shown himself to be a reliable partner for any form of agreement. I don't know what lies ahead, but so far the United States has not shown any sign that it wants to be reasonable, that it's serious about a deal that can be implemented, and that the Iranians can be confident that it can be implemented. Otherwise, for the Iranians, it doesn't matter who's in charge in the White House. For Iran, is no different than Biden. Both have shown themselves not to be men of peace. Trump has in Gaza by supporting the new wave of genocide. He has shown himself not to be a man of peace. The bombing of Yemen, which we've seen women and children being killed. We've seen images of children being killed. It shows that he is not a man of peace. So all that aside, the only thing that's left is for Trump to do a deal. But to do a deal, you have to build some sort of credibility.
You can't build credibility because it's already been shown to the world. Netanyahu doesn't want peace, will not stop because he has to accomplish his mission. And so there's only one road out, folks. Total all-out war. And that's where we're headed. And this young generation that's running under Trump is going to be responsible for the demise of Israel and the U.S. economy. Yep. We have a coup d'etat happening in America, and nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that the Zionists, there's a coup d'etat that's occurring right now in the United States. This is the Conscious Hour. You got to call it like it is, folks. No more politics. Get your brain away from Republican or Democrat. You don't trust them. You never have trusted them. That's why they call the Beltway bandits. Clear back in the 60s. Wake up, wake up, wake up. This is the Conscious Hour.